A look at value sets. A value set is a table of data with columns and rows. You define a value set in Studio by defining the columns, and for each column a name and a data type. Once a value set is defined like this, you can then use it in the Studio mapping. You can use it from rules. We will get to that a bit later. You can also use a value set as a source object in the source map. Value sets come in 3 different flavors. One flavor is a static value set, and this simply means that you enter the data in Studio directly. The second flavor is a dynamic value set. Dynamic value set, you do not enter the data in Studio. Instead, you identify an extension. There are many extensibility points in Studio and MIGFX. This is one of them. Once you've identified an extension to provide the data, it may very well need some parameters. So you need to specify which value to assign to these parameters. The third flavor is a translation value set. And this means that the value set is published in the Tracker web application. So now the users in the businesses being migrated can enter the data into the value set. A static value set is useful for collections of values that do not change throughout the lifetime of the migration. Dynamic value sets are very useful to go and retrieve data from the target system, allowing for very consistent and deep validation in the target map. Translation value sets are very useful to ask your users to provide translations between code values in the source system and code values in the target system. Stepping further on, what happens when the migration is actually executing? Well, for every value set, there is a table created in the staging database. And when we're talking a static value set, well, the data entered in Studio is baked into the generated engine. So setting up the engine will also load the data into the table in the staging database. A dynamic value set is loaded from the director by calling the extension. With the current value for the parameters. And finally, for the translation, the table is loaded from the director by retrieving the data out of the Tracker web application and loading them into the table in the staging database. These are the value sets in MIGFX.